What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good night and a good morning and a good evening. I want to talk about three stories. The first one, just a little funny bit about CNN being drunk and ridiculous. I don't like to give them that much attention, but the one guy, Andy Cohen, I guess when they get drunk, they start telling the truth all of a sudden, and he pretty much just went off about Bill de Blasio. Moderately funny. Then we're going to talk about something more serious, which is race-based medical treatments. They're now prioritizing different ethnicities over other ethnicities when it comes to treatments for COVID. And this is something that they're probably going to do for a lot of stuff. So if you're concerned about, justice and equality, all these things that the media talks about, it's going to be a very creepy couple years or decade if people don't put our country back in order, keep our Constitution, get back to the basics of freedom and liberty, and certainly not go into race-based treatments where they are prioritizing certain races over others. That's not a good sign. And then the last story is semi-serious, but kind of more funny. Coronavirus pandemic in Antarctica outpost. So in this region, apparently all the workers were fully vaccinated in Antarctica. And it says since December 14th, 16 of the 25 workers at Princess Elizabeth Polar Station have caught the virus, which leads me to ask, should we start blaming penguins? I love penguins. I'm not lying. They're my favorite animal. And I would hate to blame them for the Omicron outbreak or whatever, variant they're blaming for that. But I think it's time to start keeping an eye on the penguins, because if all those people were fully vaccinated and they came over and they got tested and, there's an outbreak, it might be time to start vaccinating all the penguins in Antarctica. I'm not trying to, say something crazy, but somebody's got to. Hold on one second. As people are coming in, let's watch Andy Cohen on CNN. I guess when he gets drunk, he starts to speak the truth. You can't be as fake when you're wasted. And he went off about Bill de Blasio being terrible. I thought it was pretty funny. And Anderson Cooper's like, no, don't do that. Don't say that.
After 4 years of the president's term as the mayor of New York, the only thing that Democrats and Republicans can agree on is what a horrible mayor he has been. So, sayonara, sucker. Wow. 2022. It's a new year. Because guess what? I have a feeling I'm going to be standing right here next year. And you know what I'm not going to be looking at? Dancing as the city comes to work.
So I guess he got wasted on, that's just what they do on CNN. They get wasted. And then Andy Cohen just went off about Bill de Blasio. I guess that is something we could both agree on. I'm going to take a shot after Anderson Cooper real quick. This is a turmeric, hemp. I don't know. It's got some lemon juice in it. This is like a healthy thing. But watch Anderson Cooper. By the way, I wanted to say, too, with that last one, shout out Andy Cohen. That's a rare moment of truth from the city of Sodom. So we always appreciate when, somebody in the city of Sodom can speak the truth like that. So, we don't care where you're from. We don't care what background you come for, what news station. If you could stand in the middle of the city of Sodom and speak the truth about Bill de Blasio, for even if it's for a temporary moment, congrats. Here's Anderson Cooper taking a shot. It's pretty funny.
Another one? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's like, bro, if you can't hang, just drink some cranberry juice, big guy. You know what I'm saying? Order a Shirley Temple to go, non-alcoholic for the big boys. It's funny. That's like when you tell the truth to CNN. When you try to tell them the truth, they're like, ugh. Anyway, I want to take a shot too. This is a little turmeric, little healthy shot. We promote good health here. We don't just tell everybody, hey, let your kids get fat and, we'll shut down sports and shut down gyms and everybody's going to get more depressed and obese and, we're going to feed you crappy food and stuff. But whatever, here's a, Captain Crunch commercial and a, Corona commercial. Oh, I'm Anderson Cooper. I'm just kidding. Whatever. I've made that face before, but I'm grown now. Anyway, On to the more important story that's not so funny. Try to lighten up the mood a little bit before we get not so light. But this is a Daily Mail and New York Post reported this, but I do want to give credit because this story, I believe, was really first brought up over a month ago by Harrison Smith of InfoWars. He talked about how they were doing race-based treatment in Texas, and it went pretty viral on Twitter. And now the mainstream media is catching up because in New York, it says, this is a Daily Mail headline. It says, white people in New York are told not to attempt to get monoclonal antibody treatment from doctors because Governor Hochul has prioritized it for non-whites. Directly from the memo, it says this real quick. Non-white race or Hispanic Latino ethnicity should be considered a risk factor as long-standing systemic health and social inequalities have contributed to an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19. So they're starting to roll out race-based priority based on, your ethnic group, and it will be a lot harder to get a hold of these pills that they're trying to roll out, I guess, based on your ethnicity. And, I come from a place where I'm mostly white European. I'm Italian, I'm Polish, I'm Czechoslovakian. That's most of my DNA, as far as I know. I've never taken one of the genetics. And my grandmother, God bless her, is from Puerto Rico. So I'm part Hispanic. I know growing up mostly white and part Hispanic, I know where the privilege is, and this is not new. I mean, maybe race-based medical treatments is new, and this is a very dangerous road to go down, but it's not new where the privilege is. If you watch the media, they say there's white privilege, there's white privilege. There's privilege of being a woman. There's privilege of being really, good looking. There's privileges of being ugly. People probably leave you alone more than if you're really good looking. But anyway, I'm just saying there's privileges of everything. You're tall, you could dunk. You're small, you could dribble down close to the ground. There's a privilege and a pro and a con to everything in life. Male, female, tall, small, fat, skinny. There's always going to be a give and a take. So these words have been manipulated, but in general, my privilege as far as systemic racially has always been in the Latino my whole life. I've known this since I was in high school. My mom used to say to me, put down whatever you want, whatever you feel as your ethnic group. But if you put Latino, you will be more likely to get a scholarship. You will be more likely to get a job. I've known it my whole life. The privilege is not in my white. In this country, they discriminate against white people, and they discriminate against Asians as well, because Asians are a small percentage of the population doing extremely well in academics and, hard workers, good family structures, very, very tough parents a lot of times that make sure that they, succeed. So that's where the systemic racism, if I'm going to use that word, which I don't like to use because it's been abused and it means nothing nowadays, but, the systemic race-based discrimination is against whites and Asians in this country. And I've known that being part Hispanic. I got to go to the White House under Donald J. Trump. Why did I get invited? I'm a news analyst. I'm a hip hop artist. I got invited because I was Latino. I'm part Hispanic, so they invited me to Hispanic night. There is no white night, or else there would be like a breakdown and, people would probably go to jail or something. So this idea that, my entire lifetime, at least, I've seen this systemic hatred, this systemic angle against white people and Asians. And now they're bringing it into the medical field and basically saying, if you're, white European, then you're going to have a harder time getting this medical treatment. This is after Florida's reporting that they're making it harder to get monoclonal antibodies. This is after many major doctors who've been censored have gone on Joe Rogan's podcast and says that they believe that all this blocking of treatments that became a political sort of thing has been bad. That's their perspective. But in general, this is not good. And this is where the country is going. So I hope that the Republicans and the good Democrats left and the good liberals and progressives that still exist really, get honest about where we're going, because between the forced masking, forced testing, forced vaccination, not able to travel, discrimination against white people, keeping medicine away from them based on race, this is a very dangerous path to go down. We're very far down it. And, it's to be expected, though. I mean, this is obviously where stuff is going. It's going to get worse until the majority of good people come together and stop being so complacent. I believe that most people are good. Most people disagree with this, but most people, I found out during 2020, are lazy and willing to just go along with whatever just for temporary convenience. And that's where the real danger is. It's not in the bad people doing this stuff. It's in the good people just kind of, being lazy and convenient. And especially if you have kids or plan to have kids, or you're young, you're under the age of 40 and 50, even if you're not, this matters. But like, if you have family or you're going to live in this world in the next 30 years, it's not worth being lazy about, because it's not going to be safe forever. It's like, if you go along with the medical stuff and say, oh, I don't care, it's tyrannical, but I'll do it. It's like, I get it, but it's not going to be safe at a certain point. If we go far enough down this path, it's the path of no return. It's losing our constitutional freedoms. It's losing individual liberties and civil liberties that have been a cornerstone to left and right-wing politics in this country. That was the one thing people used to agree on, whether they voted for Clinton or Bush or whatever. I mean, nobody was like against this type of stuff back in the day, at least the majority of the population. So it's not this safe route to ignore stuff like this, or at least just act like it's not cool. We need people in powerful positions, people with real big clout in the media and celebrities to really use their platform to rail against this stuff, because it's not good. On a more light note, I guess, I don't know how light this is, but it's pretty funny, in my opinion. This is BBC. It says, Antarctic outpost hit by COVID-19 outbreak. A Belgian scientific research station in Antarctica is dealing with an outbreak of COVID-19, despite workers being fully vaccinated and based in one of the world's most remote regions. I've been saying for a long time, I'm like, listen, they are lying in the media. I'm just going to say it. They are fear-mongering and lying and trying to push this narrative by brainwashing people into thinking, if you don't wear a mask, it's all your fault. If you don't get injected, it's all your fault. What I'm saying is, listen, if you truly believe that, if you truly want to push this narrative, I understand the data. I understand the hospitalizations. I get it. Go somewhere remote, around people just like you, and see if you can eliminate the virus, because Gibraltar didn't eliminate the virus, even though they're at nearly 100%, if not 100% vaccination. And you have one of the most remote places in the world in Antarctica, and you have a fully vaccinated science team, and there's an outbreak where, let me look again, you have 16 of the 25 workers who are catching it. So this demonization of the unvaccinated, this demonization of people who don't follow the media narrative, this demonization has not only been wicked and costly, but it's like, go anywhere by yourself. Like, let's do a real scientific experiment. Go to Antarctica, be fully vaccinated, wear the best mask you could find, wear the greatest, medical equipment you can find, and let's see if you get COVID or not over the course of a year. Can we do it? I'm not saying they were wearing the best mask, but clearly it didn't work at that one. And this is where I have to start getting comical, because if I don't get comical, I just get annoyed. Should we blame the penguins? Is it time to take a closer look at penguins? Because they're out here unmasked in Antarctica. They're out here unvaccinated, running around acting like they run the whole continent, And to me, it's disgusting to see unvaccinated penguins, unmasked penguins, just walking around with their beaks out, looking like they're wearing a tuxedo, trying to pander to both races. I'm black, I'm white. And it's like, they're literally black and white. I'm tired of the whole penguin scheme. I see through it. They're probably watching Tucker Carlson. If they're going to walk around the continent unmasked and unjabbed, they're probably listening to the Joe Rogan Experience on Spotify. Maybe they're listening to Tim Pool. Maybe they're getting radicalized by Tim Pool. But somebody has to say this stuff. I don't want to seem like, oh, is Anomaly a Democrat? Oh, he's secretly playing for the other team. Listen, I didn't want to be the one to say this, but we need to start targeting penguins for vaccination, and we need to start seriously consider masking every penguin on the planet, because we got a fully vaccinated Belgian team out there catching the Omicron possibly, and that's not going to fly in my America. So let's take a closer look at the penguins. Let's not let them racially pander to us. Oh, but I like, it reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. It's kind of black. It's kind of white. It runs around. And I'm like, listen, that's what penguins want you to think. They want you to feel like, oh, that's Sean King. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. That's my white right-wing friend. Oh no, that's my black homie. They want you to feel that way. They were built to deceive you, part black, part white. And on top of that, they're always, painted on them. God painted a tuxedo on them. So they're dressed appropriately. Like The best snake oil salesmen are dressed in, suits. They come to your door and you're just like, well, this guy seems official. He must know how blenders work. You buy a $500 blender, it breaks in a day. You're like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted that guy in a suit. Yeah, penguins are my favorite animal, but it's time to seriously consider, putting them on lockdown and injecting them with synthetic mRNA. I'm sure that will help. Just like it apparently, no comment. All right. I'm going to read some comments. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. But those are the 3 stories of the day. This is a great thumbnail to just hang out on. I like that. And that's what it is. I didn't go out yesterday. I got a nice sleep. I had a Instagram reel, a pretty funny idea for this morning. I got it out. So my year is starting pretty solid. How's yours? Someone said animals and their carbon footprint, breathing out all the carbon dioxide. I know, how dare them. We should plant trees though. And it could be like a nice little cycle, a photosynthesis cycle, or we could just demonize penguins for 20 minutes. That would be fun. Probably more fun. Let's see. Someone said I was late and I missed the stories. Well, then just wait till I'm done and refresh it. Sometimes people come in like 20 minutes late and they're like, can you do everything over for me? And it's like, come on, bro. I apologize that you missed it, but no, I can't. I'm not trying to run it back. Like, it's not a television where you could just like record it and you could do that after I publish it. Then you could go back and forth. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say too, this is, I listened to Robert Malone on Joe Rogan's podcast yesterday. It was pretty solid, very solid. I thought it was better than the Peter McCullough one. And, Rogan, although I don't think he's that controversial, but whatever, a lot of people feel different ways about him. He's almost single-handedly keeping somewhat free press alive. I'm not saying he's like inventing the wheel or anything, but you got these mainstream, or before they got censored, mainstream doctors, mainstream scientists, people that have innovated mRNA technology, people that have, have Nobel Prizes like Luc Montagnier, et cetera, getting demonized and censored by the media. And then they try to act like this is the little scheme they do. They try to say, oh, we believe in free speech, but we just have harassment, and bullying and anti-science things on here. So then they kick somebody off their platform, like they kicked off Robert Malone on Twitter. And then they try to like badmouth Joe Rogan and try to like get Joe Rogan taken off of Spotify. So it's like, if you're truly free speech, you kicked off Robert Malone and now Joe Rogan's platforming him on his own platform. But that's never good enough for the authoritarians. They want to shut that down too. But as soon as somebody get axed on Twitter, Joe Rogan has him on his podcast like a day after. That's pretty cool. And it's, I don't know if he knows what he's doing, but it is really, really important. I think he does know. It's like, it's, keeping that word of the scientists when it gets taken down, allowing them to amplify it to millions of people or an even bigger audience. It's so crucial right now. And I'm glad that he's doing that because it's important. I never thought I would like Rogan more than I like Trump and stuff. It's like, I wanted to read this real quick. Trudeau calls the unvaccinated racist and misogynist extremists. Apparently in French, he went on television and tried to say that, a lot of people that are unvaccinated are racist and misogynistic. This is like the narrative Justin Trudeau. I'm going to call him Justin Trudeau because he's a doofus. Justin Trudeau. These are the games that they play. In America, they say, if you don't agree with everything we're saying, which is not even true, then you're an anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorist. There was a literal scientist guy or a doctor from Canada who retweeted something I said about Robert Malone and said, he's an anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorist. And I'm like, bro, he helped innovate the mRNA technology. It literally, even his biggest critics will say he didn't invent mRNA technology, but he helped innovate it. It's like, okay, so he's somebody who helped move the technology along. And you're calling him an anti-vaxxer when he's pro-vaccine and a conspiracy theorist. Like, what have you invented, dummy? It's like these people are so stupid. But in general, you have, in America, they're calling you an anti-vaxxer if you push back on one of the 1,000 things that they're misleading people about in the narrative with science. They call you these names. In Canada, now they're saying, oh, you must be a racist misogynist if you don't want to get the vaccine. It's like, what? Is that really okay? And then you have somebody that I would consider controlled opposition at this point, whether he's controlled by his ego or his Pfizer pay stubs, but Donald Trump then saying, oh, no, this is the greatest thing ever. And if you're conservative and you play into this, you're playing into their hands. Like, you should run around and say how great Operation Warp Speed is. So we're getting hit from every angle, from Biden, from Trudeau, from Trump. it's like this little controlled circus where it's like you could be this side or this side, but either way, if you disagree with the narrative, you're a racist, misogynist, anti-vaxxer, conspiracy theorist, far right, playing into their narrative. Yeah, Trump, the only way to defeat the globalists is to not question Operation Warp Speed, like controlled opposition. It's so obvious. It's not like my opinion anymore. He could be controlled by his own ego, controlled by his advisors, controlled by his Pfizer pay stubs, controlled by his narcissism, controlled by his doofy understanding of what's going on. But he's not a leader that's like doing anything good. If he's telling people, I'm not allowed to question the liability. I'm not allowed to have my own perspective. I'm not allowed to question, these companies involved. I'm not allowed to question the fact that you use taxpayer money to run it through. No. If you question it, because I'm Daddy Pfizer, I'm Grandpa Moderna, if you question what I did, you're starting to play into their hands. It's like, no. Bad Trump. Down Trump. Sit down, boy. Down, boy. Go back to 2018. All right, and Trump, we like that better. Anyway. Yeah, it's just perversion of what's going on. If you come out and you just say, I hate every vaccine ever, and I don't have any reason, and I don't know why, and I just hate it, it's like, maybe you can consider calling that person that word. But if you say, hey, I've, my whole life I've taken some or I haven't, and here's how I feel about it, and here's what I know, and here's the science, and here's what I'm thinking, like, it doesn't make you a psycho. Like, to simplify it and throw everybody in that category, it's like Robert Malone, anti-vaxxer, conspiracy theorist. It's like, literally no. It doesn't make any sense. Doc said poor anomaly suffering from severe TDS. No, but it's this type of information is not what some people want to hear, and it's okay. I'm used to it. I'm going to move on to a different topic, but a lot of people that were talking trash about me, they say the same thing I said 8 months ago, and I'm not the first one to say it. Somebody's like, you say you're the first. I'm not the first, whatever. Someone did it before me. I'm sure thousands of people. But anyway, it's like the same people that act like you 7 months later, they turn into what I said. And it's okay. I'm glad to see people, but you got people that were like, don't say that. Now they're like, I'm saying it. It's like, you'll get it eventually or you won't. But I don't live in this binary world. And I was just talking with my friend who's like, he's left leaning, but he's not brainwashed and he gets what's going on. He's like more like a Russell Brand type or like Naomi Wolf, whoever you want to say. He's left wing, but he's not like slurping up Pfizer's and acting like, like authoritarianism is cool. I was talking to him about like how they deceived the country so much. Pre-2016, most liberals, although maybe they had bad healthcare policies, etc., they actually were liberal, which means believing in other ideas, having discussion, believing in, giving platforms to people you disagree with. It wasn't full-blown authoritarianism. And now somehow through Donald Trump, they deceived people into being authoritarians. They're like, orange man bad. And everyone's like, orange man bad. Orange man bad, so we're going to tell you what to do. And that's how they brainwashed him. They used people's hate for Donald Trump to brainwash the left from being liberals to being full-blown authoritarians. And then you have the right wing. So many people love Donald Trump so much. They're not paying attention to his policy. They don't care if it's socialist, communist, trillions of dollars of printing, corrupt, evil, wicked. Oh, no, if he does it, I'm going to defend it and make excuses for it. And it's this creepy world that they've kind of trapped us in. Besides the masking, the injections, like we live in like a medical hell Black Mirror hospital episode that like won't end because, the emergency is like very convenient. But anyway, it's like people think they have to live in this world. It's like, I don't know if it's a lack of creativity. I don't know if it's like a lack of, having your own identity. So you constantly have to like, take other people's identity and make it yours or whatever. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, it's this weird world that we live in. Like, I'm a very creative person. I like to do my own thing. I like to, talk about a million things. People are stuck in like this or this. It's like, I'm this. I hate Trump. I like Pfizer. You're a conspiracy theorist. That's the end of the story. And it's like, what? Like liberals did not act like this in 2015. They were making good music and doing all sorts of cool stuff and like innovating and talking about saving the world. Like it wasn't like a hospital. And then on the right, it's like, I would say there's a lot more discussion, debate going on. The right wing, in my opinion, has impressed me over the last 4 years, and it's aged better than the left. But there's still a chunk. I'm not going to say it's the whole chunk because it's only, a certain percentage of people who have it's like, I don't want to, get out of this bubble. I'm just going to say the same 5 things on loop. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. He didn't mandate it. That's okay. He's playing chess. It's like, can we talk about something else? Can we play basketball? Can we go to the ocean? Can we play ping pong? Can we invent something? Can we start a business? You know what I'm saying? Can we get outside of this like world of like you like him or you hate him and you defend him and it's your whole life and he's got to come back and save you? I'm not waiting 3 years for an 80-year-old vaccine salesman to like save the country. I'm focused on myself, my business, my life, and also, more unique content and stuff, and getting back to the basics of what made us happy, because it's a miserable world, whether you're right or wrong, to just constantly talk about the same stuff over and over and over again in a way that's not funny or interesting. Why do you think I'm always making jokes and stuff? Because it's funny. If you laugh, there's value. If I make you laugh about penguins, ha ha ha. It's good. It's good to laugh rather than like, let's freak out all the time because something bad's going on. That's not fun. That's why I try to make every live stream kind of fun, or else I would drive myself crazy. So, and I talk about health and wellness. That's why I try to mix that type of stuff in there, because that's important. That's valuable. Sometimes I give out, business tips, unsolicited business advice, which is valuable. I'm trying to add value to this conversation rather than just like run circles around AOC or Trump or something. It's so boring. With AOC, right wingers are dead set on making her famous, but it is kind of hypocritical. They all cry about Florida and then they go vacation in Florida, right? That's true. And then Steve Cortez makes fun of her boyfriend's sandals. Here's my thoughts on it. I mean, if you're at the beach, if you're in Florida, like the sandals are not the problem. The problem's the fact that liberals are acting like Florida's so bad, but then they want a vacation there. But it's like you're making fun of his sandals. Like, I don't know. I get it. Like some people don't like sandals, but when I'm at the beach, I'm not thinking about wearing Timberlands or something. I'm wearing something I could take off my shoes quickly. So it's like the right wing constantly just like lobs AOC up so she could dunk in her face. It's like, it's just such a cringy, it's like high school. It's like, meh. It's like, you wish you could date me. And it's like, no. It's just like so cringe. I'm tired of it. But, so I just try to make jokes and stuff because I'm not like, but I sit at this table. Oh, yeah, well, you wish you could date me and my boyfriend with the sandals. No, you're a communist. Nuh-uh. You're a fascist. No, you're a racist. No, you're a racist. You're a racist. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, this is really adult-like 50-year-olds fighting over sandals. This is really the sign of a, mature democracy going in the right direction. Like, no. And people are like, duh, and I'm just like, how old are you people again? I'm 32. I act like the adult in the room. I'm like talking to 60-year-olds. I'm like, stop acting like a mean girl from oh shoot. Ow. Hopefully that wasn't the Omni. No, I just like rubbed got my muscle the wrong way. But it's like a Lindsay Lohan episode. When I sit like this, I gotta like stretch or something. It's not a good position. I'm like curled up in the corner like this because it's all good because of this here. I'll just move this actually now that I'm done. I don't know. That's kind of a good vibe though. I'm gonna miss that picture. Let's all say bye, Anderson. It was fun. It was fun drinking with you. All right. That's a better vibe for me. I was starting to feel a little claustrophobic. Someone said anomaly with these accents. I'm subpar with my impressions. I would say my impressions are subpar to average, but my humor level is pretty solid. Someone said anomalies almost Illuminati. Yeah, I'm so close. Only a few more steps and I'll be there. I remember like 2008, like every video was like Illuminati, Rothschilds. Like that was like, the theories and Freemasons. People used to talk about that all the time when YouTube first came out, and then nobody talked about it anymore. And then like in 2015, like everybody, like all the normies started being like, oh, Rihanna's in the Illuminati. And it's like, now I get what you're saying. Like there is just look at how all this COVID stuff happened. There's a global group that kind of works together, hangs out and dictates the policy of everybody. But I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Like someone will come up to me like, do you think Rihanna's in the Illuminati? And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but it's like, I feel like it's always like a normie that's just like, do you think Dr. Pepper's in the Illuminati? I'm like, he's not a real doctor, but somehow he has a medical degree to sell soda. I'm like, I think it's a little bit more complex than that, but I get it though. I'm just playing. You get what I'm saying? Now people are going to be pissed in the comments and be like, anomaly. See, I told you you were trying to quash it. It's like, no, my goodness. What's up with Antarctica? That's a good question. I personally have some unpopular opinions about Antarctica and space and stuff. So, a lot of times I just keep them to myself. But what's going on with Antarctica? I don't know, because it's not an easy continent to go to unless you're like, going to a research facility with, a group of science. But I would love to, you know, explore Antarctica, but I also don't want to get shot, so I'm not going to. And it's cold, and I'm kind of soft now. Once I lived in hot climates, it's like, yo, you want to go explore Antarctica and look for the elites, and I'm like, yo, I would go with you to Antarctica, but it's a little cold out here, and it's like 60 degrees here, so I'm gonna have to pass on that. But good luck, though. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you could find Tom Cruise out there or whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to see what's really on Antarctica, but then I'm like, I don't know. It's a little cold. It's a little cold for me. I like to wear sandals like AOC's boyfriend. So maybe I could be her boyfriend one day. I'd be like, I could defend her and be like, no, boo, I feel you. I wear sandals too at the beach. It's not because I'm not a man. It's just because when I go on the sand, I got to take my shoes off. And it's not practical to wear shoes to the beach because then you got to carry them around and sand gets in it. Maybe this is my time. I hop in and defend her just so I could kind of slide in, but I'm not really interested in her. Might work, bro. Someone said Dr. Pepper's not a real doctor. Don't quote me on that because maybe Dr. Pepper did get his degree. I don't know. Is it based off a real person or did they just make it up? I have no idea. I don't know the history of Dr. Pepper, so I don't want to start a conspiracy theory. Someone said the Vanguard group, very powerful. I think Robert Malone talked about Vanguard on Joe Rogan. I was like, based? No, but you get it. Someone said, I think Antarctica has major secrets up there. Oh, for sure. I agree. There's like a party on Antarctica and just like Smash Mouth and Cisco. Cisco plays the thong song and Smash Mouth plays All Star on loop. The elites pay them like $1 million a day to just go there and like play those songs for like Jeff Bezos and his hottie thottie. I'm just kidding. I don't know. You see the picture of Bezos with his woman? He's like wearing like a 70s outfit like the Bee Gees, and he's just like jacked now. I'm like, yo, that's what working out does for you. Bezos seemed miserable his whole life. Now he got jacked and he's out here with some hottie thotties just, acting like he's a Barry White or something. I kind of respect it. It's not my business. People are like, I hate Amazon. I'm like, I'm just saying the disco, it looked like a good time. I'm not saying I co-sign everything he does. I just thought it was funny. I do think Amazon's a good service though. Like they deliver quickly and everything's cheap. Is it ethical? I doubt it. Have there been tens of thousands of people who've made millions of dollars, normal people who've hustled and made it on Amazon? For sure. So, to me, Amazon's a decent product. I like Bezos in a weird way more than Bill Gates or something, but I don't think he agrees with me on politics, and I'm sure he's in the club, but I don't know. I don't really. Someone said penguins sell them drinks. Did I see that episode of Wednesday on Tim Pool? No. Look up Agartha. I'll check it out. You want me to Google it now for you? I'll look it up. Let me see. Agartha. Is this like, what is this? Is Agartha a country? Agartha is a legendary kingdom that is said to be located in the Earth's core. Interesting. Only one way to find out. With that type of stuff, it's like, if you could find it, I'll believe it. I'm not like that closed-minded. Like some people are like very sure of themselves. I'm like, I don't trust any of this stuff. So if you can make a good case for that, good luck. Someone said, I agree. Look up Admiral Byrd and Agartha. It's all Antarctica stuff. Yeah, I've read about Admiral Byrd. There's a lot of interesting stuff with Antarctica and history and everything. Okay. Yeah, I got it. All right. 34 minutes. We'll keep it under 40. We'll keep it fun. You enter it by the way of Grand Canyon. Yo, that would be crazy if that were true. I don't know. I mean, somebody should try to like, well, never mind. I don't want to say that. And then someone does some stupid shit and like they blame me. Don't do anything, drink water, filtered, probably out of glass, better than plastic. Someone said wait until they can make RNA being bringing frozen dinosaurs back to life. Are there frozen dinosaurs though? I don't even know if that's true. Do you need a vaccine passport to enter Agartha? Someone said. Yeah, you can go to Agartha, which is apparently a supposed kingdom inside the Earth's core, but you're going to need a vaccine passport to get there. I want to read this real quick because it's from a Holocaust museum in Illinois. So this is Illinois' Holocaust Museum. They tweeted this out on December 30th. To ensure Illinois' Holocaust Museum is as safe as possible for visitors, volunteers, and staff, the museum will require all guests ages 5 and up to show proof of full COVID vaccination to enter the building as of January 5th, 2022. See our protocols here. Nothing says fighting the Nazi regime like forcing everybody who comes to your Holocaust Museum to show papers of their vaccination. My goodness. And I'm guessing they will for sure call you an anti-Semite if you disagree. I would guess their anti-Semite clout is like an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like a Zionist Republican Christian, you can call people anti-Semite sometime because like you funnel so much money and power to Israel that like you think you're Jewish or something. Like there's a lot of like Zionist Christian Republicans that aren't even Jewish, but they go to Israel and they wear the yarmulke. They're like, I'm a Jew. And it's like, no, you're not. But they're like, I feel like one because I donated a lot of money to Netanyahu. And it's like, all right, cool. And then you have like, I'm just going up the clout level of calling people an anti-Semite. Like if you're a Christian Zionist, you can start to use that word and feel frisky about it. And then if you're like actually Jewish, you could just call people anti-Semites, be like, yo, you're an anti-Semite. Like, come on, I would know. But like the highest of all anti-Semite clouts would be a Holocaust museum, So it's like, I would guess if you work at a Holocaust museum, you're using the word anti-Semite at least like 10 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like you call like Wells Fargo and they don't like do what you want quick enough. You're like, did you hear where I work? I'm at the Illinois Holocaust Museum. So it's starting to seem very familiar to me what you're doing, right? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'll put as much money. I'll get it done as soon as possible. Like that's the highest level of calling people anti-Semite clout is like working at a Holocaust museum. You're like everybody is an anti-Semite, and I have the decorations to prove it. And people are like, geez, okay, I'll get my passport. Gosh, I just thought my medical bodily autonomy mattered, but now that you said it that way, I'll go and find my card. Okay. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Someone said liberal loony Yankees are invading Florida. I'm sure that's true. Someone said, I know a person hardcore into his Jewishness, and he went around reporting businesses for not complying to COVID restrictions. I mean, just look at Israel. Israel is very Jewish, and there's nothing mean about saying that. Israel is like super Jewish. I mean, that's just kind of factual, unless you're like a black Hebrew Israelite or something, and you're like, I'm the real Jew. And that's a conversation that I'm not authorized to really discuss because I don't, I'm not the real Jew. So I don't know. If you think you're a Jew and you think you're a Jew, it sounds like a personal conversation to have. But anyway, jokes aside, but no, you know what I'm saying? The black Hebrew Israelites, they just stand on the side of the street and they're like, I'm the real Jew. And then they like just yell at random white people. Like you're just with your family in Hollywood and they're just screaming at you. They're like, Caucasian man. You're like, dude, I'm just trying to go grab a bite at Denny's, dude. Just leave me alone. I promise I didn't sail over on the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. I promise it wasn't me and my family. Let me go to the Denny's. But anyway, Israel's really Jewish, and look what they're doing. I mean, they are like the kings of like, asking for papers, fourth vaccine, green pass. It's crazy. We have some Israelis who watch on YouTube and they're tapped in because they're living in like a medical hell, and their government has no chill, apparently. And that's what, I think it's becoming more clear, and I'm gonna move on to a different topic before I get myself in trouble. But no, jokes aside, when I was talking about speech laws and stuff, like a lot of people on the right wing, a lot of like, people that are into like just donating money to Israel and like raising money at like Jewish fundraisers and acting like they're, saving the planet. They falsely accused me of being anti-Semitic. Oh my God, you're so hateful. You're so hateful. Just because you go to Jewish fundraisers and make a bunch of money for Republicans, it doesn't make you like I don't want to say something against trouble, but it doesn't make you like a national hero of Israel. So now that the Israeli people are actually facing, persecution from their own government, Trump has nothing to say about it. None of these super Zionist Republicans have nothing to say about it. All of these Republican American, organizations seem to have nothing to say about it. So it's like, did you ever really like Jewish people, or do you just use and exploit Jewish people to raise money for political means? Because the Jewish American alliance that we have in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, it's not like the people of Israel and the people of America singing songs. It's like the politician-y type people in both countries working together on politics and vaccines now. So it was never like this authentic thing that they were doing. It was always a big money, big political, big corporate, merger of the powerful government type people in Israel and the powerful government type people in America. And I said that 2 years ago. I'm a people person. I'm not out here whining and dining with the Knesset and Congress and telling you, oh my God, I'm this special. Like I love people. It's like I'm just keeping it real and raw. Like I don't cry about racism all the time, but also I don't hate anybody. It's like, but I'm not going to be falsely smeared as an anti-Semite because I'm talking about speech laws and you don't want to talk about it. And then now, Israeli people are facing like creepy pharmacy persecution, and the Republican Party is virtually non-existent in the topic because they never cared about Israelis. They cared about big business and big politics. And I saw that 2 years ago. Like, it doesn't mean you're a good person because you just say you like people. Like, I don't know. It's so cool. Like, I love black people. I will stand here and raise money it's like, that's nice, if it goes to the right cause. But I don't know. It seems kind of like a virtue signal. Like, look how not racist I am. I'm watering a plant in Brooklyn and it's going to grow apples it's like dope, dude. That's dope. But, I don't know. It's like, just let your actions speak, and you don't got to tell us how much you love everybody all the time if you're just doing it at fundraisers, and then when people need help you're not really there. That doesn't make me think you love Jewish people, but whatever. That's people's prerogative. Someone said both parties are trash. Yeah, it's like it's gotten to a point where it's very cringe. Politics is very cringe. Like, everybody's kind of cringy in politics. It sucks because even the people I kind of liked, I'm not a hater. I'm really not. But like politics, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I'm just listening to these people talk, and I'm like, I'm so over it. And then I like somebody, and then they disappoint me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, who are these people? It's just like high school for like people who want attention to pretend like they're role playing like James Madison or something. And I'm just like, I get it. And then you got like Lori Lightfoot, like she thinks she's like Muhammad Ali or something. It's just like, I don't know. And then I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to say something. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's getting old though. That's why I'm trying to make jokes about penguins. Someone said, I mean, I feel you, but all you did was talk about politics. That's who you are. Well, thank you for telling me who I am, Olong Johnson on YouTube. You would know who I am, not me. So thank you. Thank you for defining my entire life. I do a lot of things in my life. I play sports. I like to exercise. I like to, do other stuff. I'm a certified hat salesman at dreamrare.com, made in the USA, or godblesshats.com. But I mean, I do news analysis. I analyze the news. A lot of it's politics for sure. I'm not denying that. But if people realize, if you watch my videos over the last couple of years, I do two things. One, I always try to tie a positive message to it. I always try to tie what I believe is the most important thing, which is self-awareness and self-accountability. I always talk about that constantly, because not for any other reason besides I think that's so much more important than your political opinion. If you can do something and make something of yourself and focus on yourself and become a healthier version of yourself, stronger, wiser, chiller, you'll be a lot happier than if you freak out over politics all the time. So I always try to wrap that into it and use it kind of as a vehicle for other stuff. But yeah, I analyze politics quite often, clearly, for sure. Is that all I am? I hope not. I hope that's not my legacy, but we'll find out. Someone said Kyrie Irving should be respected a lot more. I think he gets a lot of respect from people who, are in the know. It's like we're building two different realities right now. People who follow the media, follow the bureaucrats, follow the government, and follow the World Health Organization. And then people who realize that this is all nonsense and big government control and tyranny. So among the people that know that this is tyranny, I think Kyrie Irving gets a lot of respect, and Aaron Rodgers, but everyone's not always going to respect you. And I'm sure, he's just caught in that world. He lives in that world amongst a bunch of people who are not willing to take a stand. So, he would be better as like a Daily Wire host. No, I'm just kidding. But, he's in a world of people who do whatever it takes to get a dollar and do whatever it takes to play basketball. And he was willing to not do that. So, he is very appreciated, just not in his own circles, probably, which sucks. He's like probably surrounded by people who don't, but I bet a lot of players respect him. They're just, scared. Someone said, Anomaly, can we please get a black or any color but white? I know I'll ruin the white. I'm working on it, but the supply chain is very limited, and all my stuff is made in the USA, stitched in the USA. If it's not 100% USA made, I don't buy it. And if I find out for some reason it wasn't before, I mean, these are, but I'm just saying, like, I prioritize making it 100% in the US. So quality over quantity. I could get other hats too. I have black beanies. They're sold out. I could get 10 other beanies, even made in the US beanies, but I want the best. I don't want to sell a half-ass product. So I try to get the best stuff. I mean, I'm sure I'll fall short sometimes, and there's probably better material out there somewhere, but I'll work on getting a black hat. There's none of these in stock. And it's been a year since I could get these black hats. I like these ones. There's another one of the same brand that I like that are a little smaller. If I could get my hands on a black hat, I'll give it to you and I'll sell it. And if I could get my hands on beanies, I would love to sell those again. Those were, quite to be honest, quite the moneymaker, and not as expensive as the sweatshirts, but I'll work on it. In the meantime, I got what I got, and the supply chain in America just sucks. Here's the thing though. I'm not into this stuff, but I'm not into like making and stitching stuff. But if you are, this is a great opportunity to really like crush it, because there's not that many people making clothes and making good stuff in the USA. And Jocko Willink, I don't know how to say his last name, Jocko Willink. Jocko. He went on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about he makes boots and like military grade stuff in the USA now, and it's taking off. And he was talking about the process, how he had these old machines that were just like had cobwebs on them, nobody used them, and he brought them back and built this whole company off of made in the USA stuff. That's dope. Like it's not easy. Nothing's easy. It's not what I want to do right now. But if anybody, like, this is the beautiful part about what's going on. Any void that you see, you could fill. You know what I'm saying? If everybody was making made in the USA clothes everywhere all the time, and it was great quality and everyone had it, it would be good maybe as a consumer, but as a businessman, it would be harder. I would think nowadays, although the prices are outrageous, that's the part that sucks. There's a huge demand for made in the USA stuff. There's a huge market for that. There's hundreds of millions of people who only want to buy made in the USA stuff. I'm trying to fill that void with my website. I just have 20 things to do, usaproductsonly.com. But, this is a great opportunity for any business person who could really put stuff together. That's the way I'm looking at 2022. And that's the way I looked at 2020 and 2021. Although they were crappy years in regards to human rights and freedom and censorship, they were two of the best years of my life and two of the most prosperous years of my life, because I focused on what I could do and filling the void. There's not a lot of media saying what I want to say. Well, I got to fill the void. Well, nobody in right-wing media is doing the reporting that I wanted to see about coronavirus. So I filled the void. That's what 2022's got to be about. Fill the void. And, it sucks that so much stuff is not made in the USA, but I'm the type of person, if someone came to me and said, hey, I could do what you're doing better and better quality, and man, I would sign up in a day. It's just we don't have a lot of innovators and hustlers nowadays. A lot of people are just, not going that ham. The guy who does my merch now, he helps me order it. He sells it. He ships it. Shipping is a little pricey on my website, but it's like all in house, all in America, and he does it way faster than the websites I was using. So it's way faster. And I'm not Amazon, so I can't afford to do it for free. But anyway, he came to me and said, hey, I do merch. I'm in the US. Here's what I do. And I work with him now. He just had the ambition to be like, I like your stuff. I already do this for major rappers and bands, and I'd love to do it for you. We sat, we talked. I'm a little, I won't say pushy, but I'm not an easy sell. And he sold me. I was like, and he's done a great job. And I don't regret a single second of it. He's done fantastic. So that's like the great part about this world. If you have ambition, you could fill a void. And I'm the type of person, there's 1,000 things I want to do that I don't have time. But if the right person comes to me and says, hey, I do this, I could fill in this gap of what you might want to do, I'm with it. So hopefully whatever your craft is, whatever you love, as crazy as things are, expensive as things are, there's so much opportunity out there. There's so much digital money being made. As crazy as it is, it's kind of exciting. Like, I'm not really in the NFT space right now. It's not my thing. At first I was like, yeah, I don't even get it. Now I understand it, but it's still not my thing. However, there's people that have made like $250 million on an NFT. I mean, think about that real quick. You could say it's scammy because in some ways, maybe when it's all said and done, it will be. Maybe it won't be. But overall, somebody made $250 million selling freaking digital artwork that people just keep on their profile picture. And an NFT is a non-fungible token, which is basically like people are selling digital artwork now that you can show that you're the only one who owns it, but anybody could copy and paste it, but you have the original ownership. It's like the renovation of digital art and buying and selling it online and showing a certification that you're the one who owns it. A lot of people think it's stupid. And even if you think it's dumb, it's just like, damn, like people are out here hustling everything. I don't know. I'm a hustler, not like a scammer. I'm not like a scammer hustler. I'm the type when I'm playing basketball, I'm trying to get every rebound. I'm trying to play defense. Like, I'm not a lazy person. So I'm lazy, and I was lazy in school, but not in real life and with my business, etc. So, it's kind of an exciting year. As much as all this nonsense is going on, I'm praying that 2022 is better. They open up the economy. They fell flat on their face, acting like they were going to eliminate COVID. They're starting to admit it now. Yes, they're coming for the children. It's disgusting. And, in some ways, maybe that will be what pushes people over to opposing them. Maybe the booster shot is what brings us together because, a large portion of people who got double vaccinated are not thrilled about getting triple and quadruple vaccinated. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm trying to hit the year like, man, there's so much opportunity everywhere. So that's what I'm focused on. People get mad sometimes. Oh, you say so much about Trump. That's fine. You don't have to like it. You can have your opinion about it. You don't have to listen. But overall, this is where my mind is most of the time, and where I want it to be is like, I'm trying to make moves and make things happen. And I hope you do too, because that's more important than whether you agree or disagree with me on Trump. And that's more important with like your opinion, my opinion. Yes, I know. I understand it might sound hypocritical, like, oh, Anomaly, all you do is talk about news analysis. It's true, but I am self-aware. My opinion doesn't really matter. What makes my content valuable is I try to show people stuff. I try to, bring in self-accountability, health, wellness and stuff. There's value there, humor, people laughing, there's value, but also just the information that people can't find, trying to do a compilation of the information, being like, here it is. You don't have to like me, but just look at this, learn this, and then you can think what you want. That's where the value is. The value is not in my opinion. The value is not in my, I guess, like emotional reaction to what, Biden or Trump is doing. The value is where I told you, but really, like, if everybody took anything from my live streams, it's like, figure out what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because whether Biden passes the baton back to Trump or not, I don't know. You got to make a living. You got to make moves. And the more you do yourself and the more you have, from a place of like, okay, I'm stable. I have my stuff together. I'm happy. I'm comfortable here. Then you can navigate this crazy world. That's what I think. Where are we at? All right, 54. I got to cut this off before. I'm just going to cut it off now. Appreciate you. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. 2 links real quick that are completely free that I'm trying to build up because they're pretty valuable. Stayintouchwithme.com. I say it all the time, but if you haven't, you could just type it in or you could click it in the description. Stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. It's my free email list. I'm trying to finish my book. It's done, but I have to edit it and get covers, like that type of stuff. I'm trying to figure out which direction to go, but I'm really trying to have that out in quarter 1. I don't see any reason I can't, but stayintouchwithme.com. I'm going to send an email to everybody. I do sales sometimes for my hats, do 10, 20% off, but for the most part, I'm very not annoying with my email list. It's stayintouchwithme.com. I don't send out daily emails. I don't send out weekly emails. At most, you're going to get 2 in a month, and I can't even do more than 2 because then I'd have to pay more at this point. So with how many emails I have, so 2 emails a month max. I probably have the least annoying email list ever, but I'm glad I have it for when I do need to talk about it. Certain things, if I get censored, a new book, etc., a sale that I don't normally have, not like an everyday sale where I'm annoying the crap out of you in the spam folder. So stayintouchwithme.com is valuable for me and hopefully you at a certain point. And then also t.me/dreamrarechat is my Telegram channel. If you go to Telegram, you just search Dream Rare Chat. And if you want to get an update with my live streams or videos, I put them all there. In the mornings when I have normal non-live videos, I put up all the links: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Sometimes I put Rumble and BitChute in there, and I'll send it out every video. And then also my live streams, I don't really announce when I'm doing it. I don't have a set schedule. So I'll give a 10, 15 minute or sometimes 5-minute window, or sometimes 3-minute window where I post it on Telegram first, so you know when I'm live, and then those videos stay there. I don't really spam a lot on Telegram. I don't tell you my emotions and how I'm feeling. I'm not that type of Telegram where I'm constantly talking about things and starting drama with other influencers. I don't do that. I just post my videos, post my work, and try to only use it like if I got censored on Twitter like Robert Malone or something, I would use Telegram. So t.me/dreamrarechat or dreamrarechat. I think we have almost 70,000 people there, which is pretty awesome. I'm very grateful. And what Telegram does is it sends you like a direct message. Like when I go live or something, it just sends you like a text on Telegram. And the owner seems pretty epic. I mean, you never know with anybody, but he seems like somebody who gets how free speech works. He seems like somebody who constantly critiques Facebook and Twitter and Google for their censorship. So seems like a good platform. It's been great. And I use it constantly just as a way to get the message out. So t.me/dreamrarechat or dreamrarechat. Appreciate y'all. And if you want to see a funny video before I leave, I made one this morning using a Robert Malone clip. It's a pretty funny, like, you could see it. It's on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is Dream Rare, DREAMRARE. And so is my TikTok. They banned me on TikTok and then gave it back. I might get banned from there again. TikTok it's a cool platform, but they suck with censorship. They censor every video, every medical video, no matter how true it is or not. TikTok kind of sucks, but I'm on there until I get banned. TikTok, Dream Rare, Instagram, Dream Rare, funny little videos. We'll see what happens. Have a good year. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys soon.